Psalm, all rise and face the east. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His holy prophet, noble Garvey. Amen. Salvation, Allah, Unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended into his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is put in danger or accused falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by their government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jali, the Prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Noble Jali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office of Noble Jali. The Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7. Divinely prepared by the noble prophet Jali, by the guiding of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity, back to the highest plane of life with his Father God Allah. The divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 14. The Ministry of John the Harbinger. John the Harbinger returns to Hebron, lives as a hermit in the wilds, visits Jerusalem, and speaks to the people. It came to pass when John, the son of Zacharias and Elizabeth, had finished all his studies in the Egyptian schools, he returned to Hebron, where he abode for certain days. And then he sought the wilderness and made his home in David's cave, where many years before he was instructed by the Egyptian sages. Some people called him the hermit of Engedi, and others said, he is the wild man of the hills. He clothed himself with skins of the beast. His food was carobs, honey, nuts, and fruit. When John was 30 years of age, he went into Jerusalem, and in the marketplace he sat in silence 7 days. The common people and the priests, the scribes and the Pharisees came out in multitudes to see the silent hermit of the hills, but none were bold enough to ask him who he was. But when his silent past was done, he stood forth in the midst of all and said, Behold, the king has come. The prophets told him, the wise men long have looked for him. Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. And that was all he said, and then he disappeared, and no one knew where he had gone. And there was great unrest through all Jerusalem. The rulers heard the story of the hermit of the hills, And they sent couriers forth to talk with him, that they might know about the coming king. But they could find him not. And after certain days he came again into the marketplace, and all the city came to hear him speak. He said, Be not disturbed, you rulers of the state. The coming king is no antagonist. He seeks no place on earthly throne. The eyes of men shall see it not, and none can enter but the pure in heart. Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. Again the hermit disappeared. The people strove to follow him, but he drew a veil about his form, and men could see him not. Jewish feast day came. Jerusalem was filled with Jews and proselytes from every part of Palestine. And John stood in the temple court and said, Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. So you have lived in sin, the poor cry in your streets, and you regard them not. Your neighbors, who are they? You have defrauded friends and foes alike. You worship Allah with voice and lip. Your hearts are far away and set on gold. Your priests have bound upon the people burdens far too great to bear. They live in ease upon the hard-earned wages of the poor. Your lawyers, doctors, scribes are useless cumberers of the ground. They are but tumors on the body of the state. They toil not, neither do they spin, yet they consume the profits of your marts of trade. Your rulers are adulterers, extortioners, and thieves, regarding not the rights of man. And robbers ply their calling in the sacred hills. The holy temple you have sold to thieves. Their dens are in the sacred places, set apart for prayer. Hear, hear, you people of Jerusalem. Reform, turn from your evil ways, or Allah will turn from you. And heathen from afar will come, and what is left of all your honor and your fame will pass in one short hour. Prepare, Jerusalem, prepare to meet your king. He said no more. He left the court, and no one saw him go. The priests, the doctors, and the scribes were all in a rage. They sought for John, intent to do him harm. They found him not. Islam. Now I'm going to read the 101, the Quran questions for Moorish Americans. As always, if you have these on hand, any of these, the Circle 7 or the 101, then you pull it out when I'm reading it. Okay. Follow along. Quran questions for Moorish children. 1. Who made you? Allah. 2. Who is Allah? Allah is the Father of the universe. 3. Can we see him? No. 4. Where's the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. 5. Who is Noble Ali? He is Allah's prophet. 6. What is a prophet? A prophet is the thought of Allah manifested in flesh. 7. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. 8. Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? Noble Ali. 9. What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? 1913 AD. 10. Where? Newark, New Jersey. 11. Where was Noble Ali born? In the state of North Carolina, 1886. 12. What is his nationality? Moorish American. 13. What is your nationality? Moorish American. 14. Why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. 15. For what purpose was Moorish Science Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. 16. How did the Prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. 17. What is our religion? Islamism. 18. Is that a new or is that the old-time religion? Old-time religion. Key 19. What kind of a flag is the Moorish? It is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. Key 20. What do the 5 points represent? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Key 21. How old is our flag? It is over 10,000 years old. Key 22. Which is our holy day? Friday. Key 23. Why? Because Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh. And it was on a Friday when he departed out of flesh. Key 24. Who was Jesus? He was a prophet of Allah. Key 25. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. Key 26. Who were his father and mother? Joseph and Mary. Key 27. Will you give in brief the line genealogy through which Jesus came? Some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, and Joseph by Mary. Key 28. Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? To send the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the Palestinian nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. Key 29. How long has that been? About 2,000 years ago. Key 30. What was the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was the Moabites. Key 31. What is the modern name for the Moabites? Moroccans. Key 32. Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest of Maxim. Key 33. What is the modern name for Maxim, Africa? Key 34. What is the title given to a ruler in Morocco? Sultan. Key 35. Where do we get the name Jesus? From the East. Key 36. What does the name Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. Key 37. Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name? Yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin. Key 38. What is an angel? An angel is the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. Key 39. What are angels used for? To carry messages to the four corners of the world, to all nations. Key 40. What is our prophet to us? He is an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. Key 41. What is the everlasting gospel? It is a saving power that comes from Allah through our ancient fathers by his prophet. Key 42. What is the covenant of the great God Allah? Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth land which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. Key 43, at what age did Jesus begin to teach? At the age of 12. Key 44, where did he teach? India, Africa, and Europe. Key 45, how long did he teach? 18 years. Key 46, what did Jesus say that will make you free? Truth. Key 47, what is truth? Truth is hot. Key 48, what is out? Hot is Allah. Key 49, can truth change? Truth cannot change or pass away. Key 50, what other name do we give to truth? Holy breath. Key 51, what have you to say about the holy breath? All we can say, it is great, it is good, it was, it is, nevermore to be. Amen. Key 52, at what place on earth was the physical part of man formed? In the Garden of Eden. Key 53, where is the Garden of Eden? In the land of Canaan, in the city of Mecca. Key 54, what is the modern name for the Garden of Eden? Mecca. Key 55, what is the name of the first physical man? His name cannot be used only by executive rulers of the AC of the MSTFA. Key 56, what are the words of the AC of the MSTFA? Attic Chamber of the Moorish Science, Temple of America, Third Heaven. Key 57, who were Adam and Eve? They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatics and Muslims. Key 58, where did they go? They went into Asia. Key 59, what is the modern name given to their children? Asiatics. Key 60, who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away? Angels. Key 61, what is the modern name for those angels? Asiatics. Key 62, what is the shade of their skin? Olive. Key 63, are the Moorish Americans in relation to those angels? Yes, we all have the same father and mother. Key 64, get 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve: Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. Key 65, what is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. Key 66, how many selves are there? 2. Key 67, name them: higher self and lower self. Key 68, what people represent the higher self? The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca. Key 69, what people represent the lower self? Those who are cast out of the holy city and those who accept their teaching. Key 70, what is the higher self? The higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life and brings justice, mercy, love, and right. Key 71, can the higher self pass away? No. Key 72, why? Because it is Allah and man. Key 73, what does the lower self breed? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. Key 74, what did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met him? Where are you going, Satan? Key 75, what was the answer the lower self gave to the higher self? I'm going to and for the earth, seeking whom I may devour. Key 76, has he finished his task of devouring? Yes. Key 77, when was this time declared out? When he nailed Jesus on the cross. Key 78, what are the last words Jesus uttered? It is finished. Key 79, what did he have reference to? He had reference to the end of Satan. Key 80, did Jesus say that he would return to conquer him? Yes. Key 81, what is the name of the person to whom Jesus was first reincarnated? Prophet Muhammad the Conqueror. Key 82, was Satan to be bound then? Satan was to be bound in part. Key 83, when was the head of Satan taken off? 1453, Byzantine. Key 84, by whom? By Muhammad. Key 85, name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors in the Northwest by the European nations in 1774. Negro, black colored in Ethiopia. Key 86, Negro, a name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contains black water. Key 87, what is meant by the word black? Black, according to science, means death. Key 88, what does the word color mean? Color means anything that's been painted, stained, varnished, or dyed. Key 89, what does Ethiopia mean? Ethiopia means something divided. Key 90, can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. Key 91, why? Because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God. Key 92, what title does Satan give himself? God. Key 93, will you define the word white? White means purity. Purity means God, and God means the ruler of the land. Key 94, to whom to refer to at times as being the great God, Allah. Key 95, is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah? No, he is the shadow of our lower selves and will pass away. Key 96, who made the devil? Elohim. Key 97, who is the Elohim? Elohim is the 7 creative spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and evermore to be. Key 98, what is Elohim sometimes called? The 7 eyes of Allah. Key 99, how many days are in the circle? 7 days. Key 100, how many days are in a creation? 7 days. Key 101, according to science, how many days are in a year? 7 days. Islam, rise and giving praises to Allah, the great God of the universe. Honors to the holy and divine prophet, Noble Ali. Honors to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey Bay. Honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother Emily Ill. Honors to everything that the prophet brought back to us, our flag, our name, and our nationality. And also honors to all those whom honors are due. So I started off this meeting by reading chapter 14. Okay, and this chapter is about John the Harbinger, about the ministry of John the Harbinger. So whenever we talk about Brother Marcus Garvey Bay, we talk about how he was John come again, right? And the prophet is Jesus come again. So when John came, he came before Jesus, right? He came before Jesus to basically clear the path, right? To forge the way. There were people just like there were people in this day and time. Same thing 2,000 years ago, right? The prophet said, if you're with me 2,000 years ago, then you're with me today, right? So 2,000 years ago, John came, and he came to prepare the people, right? Prepare them to receive the king, right? And it says right here in verse 14, be not disturbed. The coming king seeks no place on earthly throne, right? So he was kind of telling about how Jesus was to come, right? And he was to come to teach the people, right? And so Brother Marcus Garvey Bay, as a forerunner of the prophet, he did the same exact thing. He came to teach the people before the prophet was to come. All right, so if anybody knows about Marcus Garvey Bay, they know that he formed the UNIA, which stands for United Negro Improvement Association. And he had his Starline cruise ship. And he had a pretty big movement, right? He started off by teaching basically on the corners of streets, and believe that he's the founder of the flag too, the RGB flag, right? And his whole thing was getting people back to Africa. And you look at the prophet, he basically expounds on the teachings of Marcus Garvey Bay, except for his teachings are elevated, right? They're updated. They're the updated version of those teachings. So, you know, the flag that the prophet brings back and shows us, it is over 10,000 years old. This is in Key 21. We have another pamphlet for more advanced people, you know, Moorish Science. It's called the 102. And in the 102, it says, how old is our flag? It is over 50,000 years old. So our flag goes back past Adam and Eve, past Jesus, past all this stuff. So the prophet is bringing back that same exact flag, you know what I'm saying? It goes past all of our great foremothers and foremothers that we know of in these books, right? Even past some, you know, stuff that people think is ancient history, right? Because we founded this earth and we've been here for a while, right? We created civilization and started it. You know, we've been through a lot of ages, right? Because the age passes every 2,000 years. I'm saying it hasn't been an air age in 8,000 years or something like that. How much? 6,000 years, something like that. Hasn't been an air age since before Adam and Eve, right? That's why you can look at the hieroglyphs and you see the airplanes and people are like, you know, wow, how did you know, it's nothing new under the sun, right? Nothing new. Okay, so then we're going to go also to Key 11, where it says, where was Noble Drawley born? In the state of North Carolina, 1886. So he was, well, actually, let's go Key 9. What year was the Moorish Science Temple in America? Founded in 1380. So it was founded in 1913. But in 1928, it had its legal structure, you know what I'm saying? So in 1913 was when it was founded. So his movement, or the Moorish Divine National Movement, the prophet brought, it was after Marcus Garvey Bay, because what Marcus Garvey Bay brought was, you know, preparing people, you know. If you listen to Marcus Garvey's speeches and stuff like that, he was definitely preparing the people to receive the prophet, right? Because what the prophet brings you is kind of deeper than just, you know, earthland stuff, deeper than just the flag, you know what I'm saying, deeper than just nationality. But if we can't stand together on one thing, such as nationality, there's no way that we're going to stand together on anything. You know what I'm saying? And unity is the root of it all. Like, we need to have unity. If we don't have unity between each other, you know what I'm saying, then that can also be a cause of destruction. And this has been a cause of our destruction. Is the fact that nationality is still, placed on the back burner. And it's like, we can't look at nobody else and blame our situation on anybody else. It's like, at what point do you have to look in the mirror and say, you know what, it's me? You know what I'm saying? Too many people are busy saying, woe is me, but they don't realize that they're their own biggest problem, right? And I don't blame people for not knowing. I absolutely do not blame people for not knowing. I'm very solution oriented, so I definitely think about what can we do to, make people know, you know what I'm saying? And when I think about, what would you do with $100,000, and people, want to ask silly questions like this, and it's like, I would have a temple, you know what I'm saying? I'd have something like that, because at the end of the day, like, I want people to be able to know this stuff. I don't blame people for not knowing, you know what I'm saying? I don't blame people for being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Now, being ignorant and being closed-minded is two different things, right? You can be closed-minded, right? Trying to be open-minded is not the same thing as being open-minded, right? People think that they know everything and that they've studied everything. It's like the first rule in Moorish Science is to be humble. You don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? Today I went to go teach at the beach, right? And so I went to go teach at the beach because I was like, this is a great opportunity, you know what I'm saying? This is perfect for me. I sit here and I teach on video, but I had spoken at the beach like a couple weeks ago. And then there's a guy there who sets up, and he has a speaker, and he has, everything. And so today I went to go teach at the beach because I said, wow, this is the perfect opportunity for me. And so I was like, yes, I'm going to take my flag, I'm going to take this and take that. And something told me, like, maybe you shouldn't go today, but I decided to go against it, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought, etc. But anyways, I went to go teach at the beach. And so I asked him to hang up my flag. And while he was hanging up my flag, like right after he hung up my flag, the ladder came crashing down on him. And his finger just ripped wide open, you know what I'm saying? Biggest cut ever. And I said, what the heck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, you're hanging up my flag and you getting a big old cut on your hand. There's some kind of judgment here, you know what I'm saying? This isn't, just purely logic, you know what I'm saying? There's a spiritual reason behind that, somebody else try to weigh in and say, well, he was just moving fast and I know there's judgment here and I want to get down to the bottom of it. So I said, oh, look, you got judgment, right? I told him, like, oh, look, you got judgment. And I was thinking, you know what, you should have hung that flag up higher, because you think that I'm sitting up here talking to you, but this is, you know what I'm saying, this is not to be played around with, right? The prophet doesn't play. If anybody's seen the picture of the prophet, right? And so basically he said, oh no, it's judgment because of, this is the wrong and that's wrong and this is wrong and etc. And his ignorance didn't throw me off or make me mad or get me off my square or get me out of my character. All I thought was, oh, now I'm able to see that your spirit, how you unfolded, was that way, you know what I'm saying? What you said is you think that it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Got called satanic and stuff like this. And it's like, that's why it happened, because your thoughts were wrong about it. Your thoughts are completely off about it. And this is a truth that I'm coming to you with. But because you're not open-minded, because your heart is not open, and because you think you know everything, you're arrogant and egotistical, right? Because only ego and vanity will have somebody sitting up there thinking they know everything, they got everything figured out, when they haven't even scratched the surface. They got stuff backwards, you know what I'm saying? They got stuff backwards. And so I wasn't mad about it. I said, I'm going to still do my video anyways. I'm still going to teach. Um, but it just went to show me, like, I learned so many lessons in that setting, you know what I'm saying? Because he left, he went to the hospital, had to go run to the hospital. And then, the other girl left, and I was sitting there alone, and I was just like, this is always how it is, doing stuff alone. Because too many times our ones worried about bickering, worrying about fighting, you know what I'm saying? My God is not your God. You know what I'm saying? Having gods, basically, right? Gods are ideals. Like, he's told me, like, oh, my God is greater than your God. And it's like, and I said, there's only one God, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you have more than one God in your mind. This is where issues arise, and people think that issues are outside of themselves. Your issues are wholly within yourself. All of them are wholly within yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't solve the fix or fix the solve, then our people will never have unity. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, I wish, not that I wish, but, if the media got on, if people got on the media and were like, look, you guys are Moorish Americans, then people might believe it. You know what I'm saying? If, celebrities came out with it, oh, you guys are Moorish Americans, then people are going to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to be told this. They can't just walk around life blindly not knowing that they're Moorish, right? Before our ancestors were enslaved, they want to go back to Africa. Yes, we came off of the northwest part of Africa. That's what the prophet said. The northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa at the end of Act 6, right?